It's 3 for 12 Radio, and in front of me, it's Matthew Bellamy, aka Mr. Muse. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
We are talking about a big new Muse record. And what I like about this record is, after Cryogen came out, people were like, okay, Muse is back. This is a statement. This is big. But how do you feel today, before you releasing Night Shift Superstar?
I feel great, yeah. I mean, I'm actually intrigued to know whether people in the Netherlands will like it, because it's got like a little, it's got a bit of disco going on. It's got like a bit of, I don't know, it feels quite European to me. It feels like a little bit of the French influence with things like, Justice, Daft Punk, a little bit of ABBA in there. So yeah, I think it's somewhat unusual for Muse, but I think there's some familiarity because we did songs like Panic Station before. We did songs like Supermassive Black Hole before, where we've kind of dabbled with kind of funk and disco a little bit. But this song, I think we've really taken it to the next level, and I think it will hopefully get people on the dance floor. Yeah.
How much of a dancer are you in your normal life?
I like to dance, but I'm not very good.
Maybe that's the most fun part about it, right?
I enjoy doing it, but I do not enjoy seeing videos of me doing it.
Is there for you still a hard part in music? Because obviously you are a headliner, you're playing big festivals around the world. What's the biggest struggle for you in music nowadays?
Making Night Shift cool. That really was like that was a big struggle, because it's so tempting to do programming, because so much of dance music is programming drums, and just kind of like laptop programming essentially. But to actually make a song with the band, like with Dom and Chris and me, like playing live, to make it sound like it really is good enough to be modern dance music, that really was like the biggest challenge on the album, and really enjoyed it.
Let's chuck a few more at that. Don't stop though, it was great.
You did well. I can't wait to hear this live on a stage, because it will be massive, or in a club somewhere around the world.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wonder if like our version can be in a club, or whether we need to get like a remix done or something. I'd be interested to see whether a DJ could bring our version into a dance floor or something.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Was it something to let things go for that song, to write something light, or does the heaviness always pull you back into a record?
Yeah, so with that one, I think it was really just wanting to make the most kind of cool, like, making disco and dance music cool is like quite hard for like a rock band. You have to have really, yeah, it is. You have to have like really good players, and luckily I've got Dom and Chris, and so we had this cool bass line, and they were just jamming it over and over again. I'm like, okay, this could be cool. Let's go with this. So really, the song kind of started with this bass line, really, and everything was just kind of working around that, and it was like a decision to actually not play guitar on this song, to really focus and make it a bass and drum focus song,
It's something light on this record as well, because when I listen to Cryogen, the lyrics on the song are so good. The lyric, I can never cry again, hits me so hard. Maybe Cryogen is something that freezes, but also preserves then. Is that a way of numbness, or is it something more permanent for you?
Yeah, I think there's like, without getting too deep into my personal life, I mean, we all have personal issues in our lives, and even if you're like a rock star, you still have some issues occasionally.
Yeah.
And I've been through a couple of relationships in my life. So, one relationship came to an end as I was making this album. And so really the whole album is in some ways about this, but it's also connected to this kind of point in your life where you are hit with the unknown, and you don't really know what to do. And you kind of seek this higher power. So like one of the themes for the album is like this: what is this thing inside us that we don't want to be alone? We want to seek alien intelligence. We want to find a god or something. And I think sometimes in the most difficult times in your life, you have this kind of way of thinking. So the album kind of really links these two ideas together, this kind of like the human condition of seeking higher intelligence in space or gods or whatever, with also personal journey, And then obviously throughout the album though, there are, it's not all bad. I mean, there's, as you said, like Night Shift is kind of like really kind of celebrating what it is to like, have a cool girlfriend that you dance all night until you dance until the sunrise, and you're like, wow, this is awesome,
The fun thing about this album is that it's so different than, for me, any other album from Muse, because we got Unraveling last year on Pinkpop. that was a bold statement to open with that song, because it's for me the most heavy Muse riff in years. It's almost like you're listening to Korn. How did that big guitar riff come about?
Yeah, so I guess that came a little bit from working with, so this guy called Dan Lancaster kind of joined Muse in terms of our live shows, and he's done a lot of producing of like metal bands before, and so we had this idea of like, let's get me an 8-string guitar. Like 8-string guitar is what all the metal players use. Oh, not all of them, but some of the kind of more heavy bands. And as soon as I picked this thing up, I just started playing riffs on it, and Unraveling just came out right away, you know. And I think like gent metal, or that kind of metal, I think is like one of the most exciting sort of guitar music genres in the recent years, you know. So it felt like a really cool, refreshing thing to bring into Muse, especially because the way I sing is like nothing like metal. So like combining like my voice with this kind of metal sound, I think is kind of cool.
How is your metal scream? Can you do it?
I just can't do it. Yeah, I mean, I can do it, but then I can't sing after. Do you know what I mean? So I watch these metal singers, and I have to admire them. I don't know how they do this with their voice. It's like, you know, it's insane.
But sometimes you are very scientific on this record, like cryogen, hexagens, signal frequencies as well. But then we got There's Be With You.
It seems my light's been swallowed up.
It starts with the organ. It almost is you walking through a church to an altar, maybe. For this album, it's so direct, no science, no cosmos. What made you write it so plainly?
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, because I've never really been a religious person, but this thing that I have, like one of my favorite films is Contact, where this girl in the film Contact, she's seeking through science. She's trying to seek alien intelligence, but is that actually the same as trying to find God? You know, is it the same thing? I don't know. You know, so maybe alien intelligence is God. You know, so that song "Be With You" is kind of like this idea of searching for this higher intelligence or this higher power. Is it a god, or is it an alien, or is it AI? We don't know, but there's this thing that we have that just keeps wanting to find something above us, you know.
Are you using the line, I won't go quiet into the night, through Interstellar, I think?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I love that film. I mean, that's an amazing film. So yeah, I think it's also a line. It's a famous line from a Dylan Thomas poem. Yep. I won't go quite into the night. Yeah. So I wanted to get that in there because to me it's one of the most inspiring lines, you know, that you can ever hear. This part of us which wants to fight through the darkness. You know, I think that's just such a human thing. You know.
But did the meaning of this lyric change for you? Because when I listen to it, it's about raging against death. But in the context of this song, it almost sounds like refusing to give up on something or someone or something.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's, that's like a theme that I think goes through a lot of Muse songs, is this idea of trying to find the strength to get through the hardest points in your life, you know, and that kind of inner strength that we all have, that we're all capable of, you know. I want to try and find ways to express that through music, you know.
Someone on Reddit noticed that the song is 3 parts of 72 seconds. The wow signal back in the 70s was 72 seconds with 3 parts. Yeah. Was that the main thing with this song?
Yeah. Throughout the album, there are little bits of geometry that we've tried to incorporate. You know, there's 2 things in that song. Yes, the 3 sections of 72 seconds, which relates to the wow signal. There's also this thing called the phi, PHI, which is this idea that precisely at the moment where the drums come in on that song is exactly this moment where you expect shift to happen based on the phi theory. And then there's also songs like Hexagon. I'm intrigued by why hexagons appear in nature. You know, like you have like the bees' honeycomb, you have the Giant's Causeway with all these kind of hexagon-shaped rocks, you have a giant hexagon storm on the top of Saturn. Yeah. And I'm intrigued by this geometry or mathematics behind the universe, you know. And so that song Hexagons is all about that, where we played with like 6/4 time signature, 6/8 time signature, plus the guitar moving between quavers into triplets and stuff like that. So there's some parts of the album where we've like tried to incorporate some sort of universal geometry, you know.
So is this album in a way the most nerdy Muse album so far?
If you analyze it, yes. yeah. But I'm hoping if you just listen to it and enjoy it, you don't need to think about all this math stuff, you know.
That's why people are on Reddit nowadays, I guess.
Exactly.